My name is Tanya Fratto. I'm a C200 member and have been for about 12 years now. First of all, I grew up in a very small town in Alabama. I was very good in mathematics, and I went to college on a scholarship, and I majored in engineering. So I graduated with an electrical engineering degree, not really knowing what I wanted to do, so I co-opted in college. So one of my big recommendations for people who are trying to explore what they want to do with an engineering degree is to go into the co-op offices and find different opportunities for you while you're in college, because then it'll explore, do you want to be an engineer and sit behind a desk, or you want to go into operations and actually run factories that build things. I chose the latter. I went into operations and joined General Electric, so on a manufacturing management program. GE had a manufacturing management program that allowed me to go into their aerospace business, building simulators for F-14 and F-16 fighter jets and naval guidance systems. So my first 2 years were in engineering on this program, doing lots of different assignments. And over the next 25 plus years, I spent my career with GE. I started running a business for them in July of 2000 that was industrial diamonds. So we made industrial diamonds that are used in real girl things: mining, oil and gas, automotive, and aerospace. And I ran the business for them, but GE decided to sell it. So I stayed with the business and went to work for a private equity company, running the business for the private equity company. I ran this business for about 11 years, and about May of 2011, I decided to leave. And now I'm doing board work. So I'm in an advisory role working with a mining company and other different types of industrial companies. But this career in the industrial world has allowed me exposure and access to be able to do advocacy work and advocate work and advisory work in the industrial segments. I didn't really have a mentor. I mean, I grew up in a family where it was expected you go to college. I think the person that made a difference, probably two people. One, I had a really great math teacher in high school who believed that girls can't do math. So I think a lot of young women today think that I'm not good at math, so they don't necessarily pursue it. And I think girls can be good with numbers and science and engineering. So if you like it, pursue it. When I was in college, again, I grew up in a small town in Alabama, so kind of expected I'd be a teacher or a nurse. That's what girls do. But I was good in the math, and I ran into a professor of mathematics who actually took me on a tour of the engineering school. And because of him, I said, well, which one has the most math? And electrical engineering had the most math, and that's how I ended up with an electrical engineering degree. If you're good in math, you can pursue something along the financial grounds. I mean, you can get a finance degree and potentially be a chief financial officer of any company, any industry. If you like digging in the ground, you can take your mathematics skills and go into mining engineering. Mining engineering is something that allows women to travel the world over, because we're mining for gold and silver and nickel all over the world, or oil and gas drilling. If you're interested in the energy sector, mathematics and engineering can really help you pursue that. But if you look at even want something more glamorous, cosmetic companies hire chemical engineers to help come up with the latest in cosmetic products. So at the end of the day, if you've got an inclination for math and science, you can take these and go into everything from building cars, building airplanes, mining for gold and silver and nickel, oil and gas drilling, all the way into cosmetics. So, mining engineering is a pretty male-dominated industry. The automotive industry is still fairly male-dominated. Oil and gas is still male-dominated. I think what most of these industries are looking for, and I fundamentally believe a lot of the reason they're male-dominated, is there's not a lot of women who are pursuing engineering or pursuing this as a career path. Now, I'll tell you, you're not going to graduate and go run the company, but at the end of the day, if you want an engineering degree, if you have an engineering degree and you wanted to go in the mining segment, there are plenty of opportunities, because those industries are growing and there's not enough people and resources to actually use in those industries. So at the end of the day, if you've got that inclination, all you have to do is research the mining companies out there, get the right kind of background, and the opportunities are there, regardless of whether you're male or female. But if you're female, you have an advantage because they would love to see more women come into their industries and create that path for women in those industries. Do things. I took the tough assignments. I mean, most of the time, and I'd say the reason that I got a chance to do some of the things I did is nobody wanted to do them. So we were building a plant in Burkeville, Alabama, and it was the 5th poorest county in the United States, and not too many people wanted to pick up their families to go to this place. We were building a plant in Mexico. Not too many people wanted to pick up their families to live for 3 years in Mexico, and I was willing to do those things. So I wanted to travel and I wanted to see the world, and that gave me the opportunity. So I said yes to a lot of opportunities that other people said no to. So that's really how I did it. I will tell you, I think you have to tough some things out, recognize that it's not always going to be easy, but if you do, then you can have a very rewarding career. Well, I married about 11 years ago, so I stayed single for a long time. And it's a choice that I made. I don't have children. I will tell you, you can't do the jobs from home. They are jobs that at the end of the day, you're going to have to show up in the office. So if you're looking for something to work from home or doesn't involve travel, there are probably engineering assignments that allow you to do that. But it's not running companies. You won't be running the company from your home if you're in. I mean, if you think about a manufacturing plant, every day people have to get up and they have to come to work to make a product, and they expect you to be there too. So you're as the CEO of a company in these sectors. The employees are looking to you for the vision of the company, for where you're taking the company. So if you want to run the company and own the company in a mining sector or an automotive sector, anything of that nature, then you're not going to be able to stay home and do that. Probably the most amazing is the education that I feel I've gotten from traveling the world. The industrial diamonds are sold, 75% of them, outside the United States. And so you're working with companies that are in Germany, in France, in Russia, in China, and Japan, and doing business outside of the United States, and the exposure that you get to the other cultures and the way of doing business in other countries has just been an incredible experience and an incredible education.